So the first fish I took with the sawtooth is right there, just to the right of that current seam. Turns out to be a very nice cutthroat. You can see that the rod again doesn't really load very much, and when you've got trees behind you, as I did, some of the casting is more of a lob cast. But still, the rod easily flicks the fly out and gets it into position. So a nice 14-inch cutthroat. So here we are, bright sunshine. I'm trying to keep my shadow off of the water that I'm fishing, so I'm casting up and across stream. I'm placing the fly across the current and into that smoother water. I'm going to put it right in front of that submerged rock right there and work the fly through there a few times. And you'll see I hook up with a smaller fish, about a 10-inch brown. Here's a situation that is challenging for all of us. Very bright sunshine, smooth, very clear water. The fish can see you rather easily. And here again, I'm using that relatively short line, only about 10 feet long with 3 feet of tippet. I could have used a much longer line and probably should have been. But still, the rod gets the line across the current right in front of those snags and rocks, which was good holding water for the fish, and then bring him to net. Turns out to be another cutthroat, about 13 inches or so. Here I am coming up on that large pool that I alluded to in the narrative for this review. You can see that large boulder up there on the left. The current sweeps down to the right, and it creates this eddy that goes from right to left. I cast the rod out, placing the fly, and just let it hover, and then allow the rod tip to come down and my arm to go slightly out so the fly actually goes forward in the current. There it goes, and pick up a trout out there in the eddy. It's a nice 13-inch brown. Here I am just after I released that other fish. I made a couple casts. You can see right there the rod doesn't really load very well because it wasn't a very forceful cast. But here I'm going to lower the rod tip and push my arm out slightly So down comes the rod tip, arm goes out so that the fly floats along with the current in the eddy, and then hook into another fish. It's another nice brown, about 12 inches long. This next segment is sort of long. Here I'm up alongside of the current on the right side, and it's very deep right there. And I can't backcast, so I've flipped the fly forward and hit it about where that rock is. And here I've just hooked into a really nice fish. You can see him. He's pretty big, about 18 inches. I can't fight him from this position because the trees are right behind me, and I'm standing on a little shelf that's about 2 feet wide before it plunges into the deep pool. So here I'm holding the fish in position, and I'm working my way back downstream into the tail out of the pool so that I can stand there and work the fish. Again, this segment is sort of long, but you can see the fish runs upstream and then comes back down around. I'm able to easily control this fish in this pretty brisk current with this rod. I was quite pleased at how well the rod handled the fish. Here in just a second, the fish is going to shoot from right to left in front of me and over to try to get caught in some snags against the far bank. But with the rod, I was able to pull him right out of there, control his head, and then bring him into the net. So here he goes, from right to left, straight across to those snags. You can just see him down there in the lower left part of the screen. And then I'm able to pull him out with the rod very carefully, reach up and grab the line, and then sweep him directly into the net. Turned out to be about 18-inch cutthroat, very, very nice fat fish. It's almost too big for that net that I've got there. But there he is, beautiful fish, the length of my forearm or more, taken on this rod. So this is a nice rod, the Tenkara Rod Company Sawtooth. It's a little stiffer than a 5.5, but it still works great and should be considered if you want to get an entry-level rod.